history repeats itself. We all have heard the saying at least once in our life, and that seems to be the case especially for One Piece, because there have been a vast majority of the time that it has happened, and the resemblance gets crazier as the video progresses.
Strongest hat.
We all have seen Goldie Roger wear straw hat way before he became the strongest pirate of his era, and later on he gives his straw hat to Shanks, and guess what? He also becomes the strongest pirate of his era. And I don't know how, but Shanks again gives his straw hat to Luffy, who is literally a god.
Execution.
This is Lockdown, the place where Pirate King Goldie Roger's journey started. And this is also the place where the Pirate King takes his last breath, meaning that this is the place where the Pirate King gets executed. And over 20 years later, the protagonist, aka the future Pirate King Luffy, also comes to the same town. And guess what? He also nearly gets executed in the same freaking place.
Skypea.
Despite being in the correct coordinates, this place Skypea was nowhere to be found. At least nowhere others could tell, except for the king of the pirate himself, Goldie Roger. I don't know how, but he could tell that the Skypea doesn't exist in the earth, it exists in the heaven itself, aka sky. And after that, nobody, literally nobody found the location of Skypea except for the future king of the pirates, aka Monkey D. Luffy.
You're a death.
Now we know that the death of Joyboy marked the end of his era, aka the White Century. And 800 years later, a new legend was born, aka the king of the pirate himself, the Goldie Roger. And his death commenced the beginning of new era, aka the Great Pirate Era. And years later, another legend died while protecting his child, Whitebeard. And his death marked the beginning of the new era, which is the ongoing era.
Nico spared.
2 decades before the current storyline, Buster Call was called upon this island named Ohara, where coincidentally Nico Robin and her mother lived. So Aokiji was ordered to kill everyone on that island. But luckily he left one little girl, which was our Nico Robin. And over 2 decades later, he meets that little girl again. But now she is all grown up. But this time she is not alone. She is with her friends who are willing to die to protect her. But Aokiji is still stronger than all of them combined, and he easily defeats them all. But like the last time, again, Aokiji decides to spare her life.
Swordsman.
Kaido was known to be the strongest being in the world, and nothing could penetrate his skin, which was stronger than even diamond itself. But Odin the goat did the impossible, which no human before him could ever do. He slashed the skin of the strongest being in the whole world. And this was the only scar in the Kaido's body for many decades. But then Zoro came, and he destroyed Kaido so bad that his body started bleeding again.
Nika Joy.
Many centuries ago, a godly being was known to bring happiness and joy in everyone's life. He was also called Sun God Nika. And many centuries after that, another legendary being was born. He was named Joyboy, who was the reincarnation of the Sun God Nika. But sadly, he failed the goal of liberating the whole world. But 800 years later, a miracle happened and he reincarnated again. But now as Luffy. And we all know what are the things that Luffy did till now. But what about future? What happens after Luffy becomes Pirate King? Watch this video to find out.